Peace, what's up, everybody? My name is Robert Liu-Trujillo. I'm an author and illustrator from the Bay Area, and this is my next art books video. I love to share these videos with you all, and I want to give a disclaimer really quickly. When I share art books, it's not just books about drawing, it's art as an umbrella term. So there's photography, there's sculpture, sometimes it's public art, sometimes it's creative writing, sometimes it's interior design. I try to use it as a term for lots of different types of creative books, and I also try to make a really big effort to put people of color in it, women in it, and also queer folks. So just a disclaimer: if you were looking for an art video about a bunch of dudes, keep it moving. There's some dudes in my video, but it's not the focus. So okay, the first book I want to share right here is by a storyboard artist who works in animation. His name is Nick Parris, and it's called Let's Learn Some Storyboarding. This is a really small, short, self-published book, but it's packed with some really great tools for storyboarding. And then it's signed right here by Nick, and it gives you just some of the basics, like what this is used for, some of the terminology that's used as far as like camera goes, and what a grid is. And I, as someone who is studying a little bit of storyboarding to try and learn how to storytell better, I found it really useful just because we all need ways to make our storytelling matter, or to make it hit an emotional point, or to make it more engaging. And so I thought this book was a really great introduction to storyboarding. If you get a chance, check it out. Nick Parris, Storyboarding. Let's learn some storyboarding. This next book is called Young Queer America, and this is a book with creative writing, profiles, and photography. And what it what it does is it profiles a bunch of queer youth, trans, lesbian, gay, bisexual, non-binary. Has a great forward. And what I really enjoy about this, there's so many young people who, they're not trying to make you queer, they're not trying to change you, they're just trying to live, they're just trying to be themselves. And coming from someone in a family who has lots of queer folks, I find this just really dope. Like, great natural photography, and just great stories about these kids, like who they are, where they come from, the things that they like. It's not just about their gender identity or their sexuality. It's just celebrating them as people, as humans. And I think for folks who don't have access to finding these type of stories, this can really be a lifesaver. So if you know anyone, this is the kid who's on the cover. Marcus uses pronouns he and they. It shows some about Marcus's life. I think Marcus lives in Alaska or somewhere up north, but it shows some of the joys in their life, not just them, but some of the other people in it. And it shows some of the struggles. And I think this is really powerful for young people to see. Beautiful photographs, great writing, highly recommend it. The next book I want to share is by an artist by the name of Derek Ortega, a Mexican American artist who does character design and drawings and visual development for animation. It's gorgeous colors, really dope character style. Love their use of shape language and silhouette. It's a really dope book. I got it online, purchased it from this brother, and I've already shared it with some students. And it's just really refreshing for me as someone who's part Mexican to see some of these folks, like people who are common that you would see in the neighborhood or in your city, portrayed as characters. And I highly recommend checking it out. This is art of Derek Ortega, Chicano inspired drawings and sculptures. Okay, so this is a really great photography book where it's using creative writing, photography, and the sport of skating all together. And it's a little bit of history of skateboarding as well, but specifically about young femmes and young girls, adults as well, who are skaters. I love this book. I'm not a skater, but I am inspired by skaters, and I just dig it. It's really cool to learn things like, take for example this design, the anatomy of the skateboard, tells you all the pieces and parts of it. In it, they profile elders as well. This is really important. If you're like a young femme or a young girl and you're getting into it and you're getting a lot of crap from boys, this is a great way to show not only are there people your age skating, but people who are much older. So it profiles OGs like grandma's age who are skating, and young people. This one right here, Rochelle, she's the one that's on the cover. She was in that film Skate Kitchen. It's really dope. You get to see all these little stats about them, where they were born, how old they are, just some things about why they like to skate, why they do what they do. Judy Oyama, this is an OG skater. I love this. I love the mixture of design with the photographs, the quotes, the pictures. Sometimes you have like mother and daughter, and it's just a really great book from an illustration standpoint, from a design standpoint, history. I highly recommend checking it out. Here's one too. This is like one of the youngest ones. And the other cool thing about it is that although the majority of these are Americans in the United States, they got some folks from other countries as well. So it's really, really cool to see. This is Shredders. It's a really dope book about skating and women in skate. Check it out. This is a book that's called Piecebook. It's by Chino B.Y.I.'s, a graph writer from New York, and Sacha Jenkins, who's a former writer, uh, graffiti, and also creative writer for magazines and a filmmaker as well. I didn't catch it when it first came out, but I got this book later, Piecebook. I'm a kid who grew up with graffiti, so I love seeing this. The reason why I'm still a sketchbook person is because I started off drawing in my sketchbook like this, doing graph. And the cool thing about this book is it showcases like sketch artwork from writers in New York from the past, and it's just dope. Like a lot of these writers, they would do really elaborate plans for their pieces, and a lot of this was done on walls. So it's just really dope to see all of the inner workings. I mean, I know it because I grew up with it, but if you're a young person who has never seen it before, this is what they used to do. So these are alcohol markers. After a while, they start to bleed a little bit. But Dez is a graph writer from New York who went on to be DJ K Slay, rest in peace. It's dope. I'm a fan of graffiti, so I love seeing this. And if you're someone who's a fan of, see, this is an OG right here. This is Scene. If you're someone who's a fan of typography or lettering or design in some way, or graffiti, like I feel like it's a must-have. And it's like little sketches like this, up to like really Revolt as an OG, really detailed drawings. And one of the cool things about it is that you'll see little effects like this, little tape there. Sometimes they'll have like a bleed here and there where it bleeds through the page. You have some of this Bon Body characters here. Yeah, I love this book. There's a sequel to it as well. Got Futura, Crash, a whole bunch of OGs. And then there's a list of all the people who are in it. But Piecebook, Secret Drawings of Graffiti Writers by David Villorente and Sacha Jenkins. Okay, so this is the artwork of Ruth Carter. If you don't know Ruth Carter, she is a fashion designer and a costume designer for film. So she made this book, which is a beautiful collection of some of her most iconic films. They can't fit them all because the sister done did so many of them. There she is right here. She's an elder in the film world and costume design world. But it talks about School Days, her work with Spike Lee, Black Panther. She even worked on Sinners, the most recent film with Ryan Coogler. I have grown up loving her work, and here's a foreword by Danai Gurira, who was in The Walking Dead and also Black Panther. I grew up loving her work, and so it's really great to see where she came from. She came from Ohio, I believe, or no, Springfield, Massachusetts, and her work in theater. She started off as a theater buff, wanting to act first, and then going into costume design for theater, and then she quickly started to make her way in this is what Tisha Campbell wore in School Days. She started to make her way in the world of film working with Spike. And like most of us, didn't know what she's doing at first, but kind of found her way. And I love hearing about, you know, how she came up with the ideas. What was her thought process? Here's some of the costume design for Malcolm and his partner, who was played by Spike in the movie Malcolm X. It's beautiful. It's costume design is such an unchampioned work. There's her work on I think it was Amistad by Steven Spielberg. They don't get enough props. It's such an artwork to it. not only her chops as a drawing artist and illustrator and collage, but this is for Selma, Ava DuVernay. But just seeing like just how much work goes into making these historic or really fantastic stories pop, making them look interesting. Here's for Meteor Man with Robert Townsend. Oh yeah, this is a classic one of the pimp walking with his goldfish in his shoes. Yeah, this is one of my favorite artists, Ruth Carter. Here's some of the work with Angela Bassett and Black Panther. Such a gorgeous book too. Even the spine of it, if you look, it has gold on it. So it's decked out. It's from Wakanda Forever. And this is one of the things where you can show young people you can have a career in fashion design. This is something you can do. So yeah, check it out. The Art of Ruth Carter. All right. Here is a really thick one by a French African artist named Sylvain Despretz. I saw this book when it came out, but didn't realize who the artist was and some of the things that he worked on. And I just happened to catch it recently. And it was like, oh my god, I gotta get that one. This cat has worked in storyboarding, concept art, illustration, comics, and he he gives you a lot of examples of his style, which is incredible, and a lot of life lessons for how to be a creative and how to work with others. And he has little tidbits from some of the people that he's worked on, some of the projects that he's worked on with other people. And it's great. You see prop design, you see illustrations. This one was for Gladiator, the film. You can tell he was really inspired by Mobius and definitely talks about that in his book. I love seeing the storyboards as well to see his thinking about how he goes about doing his projects. And you just get to see just some beautiful work, some beautiful illustration, so many different styles. And the cool thing about it is that you get to see some professional work and personal work. And so he'll talk about some of these people, where he's lived. I believe he spent most of his time in France and then came to the US and lived in LA. But I love this book. I got this from Stewart NG Books in Torrance, California. Love the style. So stylish. Really, really dope artists. A lot of science fiction, a lot of beautiful ladies, a lot of just like a master class in drawing and filmmaking and storytelling. Really enjoyed seeing his work. You can see some of the stuff from Fifth Element, the film The Fifth Element, some stills from working with people. And I don't believe the brother is retired. I believe he's still working, so hope to see more from him. But yeah, if you get a chance, I'm gonna show you the whole book, but check out Los Angeles by. All right, here's a really great book by Grace Bonney, and it has photography, profiles, writing, and I really enjoyed this. It's called In the Company of Women, Inspiration and Advice from Over 100 Makers, Artists, and Entrepreneurs. Again, this is really important, not only to show a diversity of career, but a diversity of women in their natural environment and how they work. This is Janet Mock, she's the author, television host, trans activist. Here is Roxane Gay, incredible writer, fiction. She's an activist as well. Some of these, I'm just skipping to the ones that I know their work. Shisu Saldamando is a great, I believe, Japanese and Mexican artist from LA. Incredible illustrator, super talented. She did these drawings on napkins that I really love. Ballpoint pen. Here's Issa Rae. You can tell this from a while ago because Issa Rae's style is so different how she looks now. But she's an actor, she's a director, producer. Here is Maya Lin. She's a sculptor. She's done some really incredible sculptures. And this is a really dope book. I love seeing the profiles of different people. Nikki Giovanni, the OG, great poet and writer and teacher. I love seeing people's studio, like where they work and how they work. And in this, you just get a little bit of game, like a little bit of backstory, a little bit of advice from these creative folks. And it's really a great book. I hope to do one of these like this for maybe for Kid Lit. But here's one, Ashley Ford. She's also a writer. Okay, this is the 2018 sketch collection by Kim Jung-gi. Rest in peace to the OG. This, many of people have already talked about this, but I just got it. This is the first time I got one. So, you know, you see this stuff online, you see the videos of him. And by the way, parents, if you're watching this, this book has some rated R content in it, so you might want to skip through this part. But yeah, it's one thing to see it online and then to see it like in sketchbook format where you can look at it up close. Dude, he was just so incredibly, unbelievably talented. Just the ability to recall people and figures and places and things without no sketch lines, like just drawing freehand is it's sometimes hard to fathom. In this book, you see a whole bunch of sketchbook stuff. Like you can tell he's just playing around, like trying this and that. Some of it is probably client work, and it is all just an incredible display of talent when it comes to illustration and character design and storytelling too. I don't read Korean, even though I'm part Korean, but he has lots of notes in here. And yeah, this brother, him and his whole crew, actually, all of the people as part of Super Ani are really incredible. But yeah, this was the master, the the wildest of the bunch, I think. Yeah, he was just, this is like some fan art or some commissions. It's just so ill with his skills. And being that he was a dude, he has a certain take on things, and I can understand why some women and some people of any gender might not like it or agree with it. But it's this one is not necessarily meant for kids. It's meant for young adults, I would say. But if you're a kid that likes to draw, or I mean, if you're a young person that likes to draw, this can be really inspiring as long as you have a conversation with them about bodies and patriarchy and all that stuff. But yeah, just an incredible artist. The art of Kim Jung-gi, and inside there's a poster too and some photographs. But yeah, this is a 2018 sketch collection. There's multiple sketchbooks, and some of them are a little bit more freakier than others. But yeah, this is okay. This is a artist sketchbook by Cory Loftis. Cory Loftis has worked in animation and worked for Disney and a bunch of films for years, and it's an incredible illustrator. So much story in his work. This is from 2015. I love this one right here. It's like all those in favor of Robert leaving, please raise your hand. This is the dude Bob, and you could tell like the way he's looking at him, he really wants this dude to go. Um, what I love about this book is it's not just a regular artist sketchbook. It's kind of like memories of his life from when he was a kid, and so you could tell he has like a great grasp of memory, like who these people were, where he was, what they were wearing, the expression they were making, and how it feels. He's really incredible character designer, illustrator, concept artist. I love looking through his work. And like this, for example, like you could tell they're probably watching a scary movie and everybody is spellbound, probably terrified, but still going to keep watching it. Yeah, I love his work. Cory Loftis is definitely the man. I think that he stopped sharing some of his work on Instagram, but you can support him directly by buying the sketchbook from him or a store that carries it. Yeah, I mean, great design too. Like, check out how these figures are in the foreground, the shape design, and then these in the background. I love the smiles and the emotion and the stylized characters that he does. I mean, this right here, like I remember in the '80s seeing these films, Ruthless People, Crocodile Dundee. Yeah, Cory is a beast when it comes to the artwork. This is called Before I Forget by Cory Loftis. All right, this is an art book by Jake Parker. Jake Parker is an illustrator and artist that worked in animation, comics, and illustration, and he self-publishes a lot of these drawings books. This is number 5, you can see, and they're really awesome. He's known for drawing lots of robots and comics. At the beginning of this one, there's a short comic about his character, Skull Chaser. There's a bunch of illustration in here. I really appreciate seeing the depth of different types of characters he does. The robots, I don't really draw robots, so I really dig seeing how he does them. Creatures. There's stuff in here that's digital and traditional media like marker or sketchbook. And I love seeing that, all the little imperfections scanned right from the sketchbook. This is also the creator of Inktober, if you didn't know. Yeah, he has a book that's all about robots actually and spaceships, but this one has a variety of different things, and yeah, it's a really dope book. Check out Drawings by Jake Parker. Okay, last but not least, this is my art book. I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'm an author and illustrator, and I'm just going to share really briefly. This is an artist sketchbook where I put sketchbook work, character design, some short stories, some artwork for Black History Month and Asian American History Month. I'm just going to go through it quickly. Every video I put a little something about mine, but if you enjoyed this video in any way, check out mine as well. Art of Rob. I have a longer video on my YouTube where you can see me flip through it. Peace. Hope you enjoyed this, y'all. Go check out some art books and read about creative works, any type of discipline for fun, and especially for young people, help them find books about what they're interested, whether they're interested in sneakers or gaming or fashion design or makeup artists, whatever it is, find some books for them that they really love. Peace.